Can you get your twins on the same schedule? Yes, you can. This video is going to show you how to get your twins on the same schedule, some of the challenges you may face, and how to guide your twins into the routine and schedule that you would like to see. Getting your twins on a schedule and the type of schedule that they have depends on many factors, one of which may be the time of day, and another may be how many people are in the house to help with the twins. But an overarching pattern and theme is important to have when you get your babies into a routine. My wife and I really love the book called The Baby Whisperer, which outlines a very particular formula, a cycle that your babies are going to go through throughout the day. It's called the EASY formula. EASY is an acronym. The E is for eat, the A is for activity, S is for sleep, and the Y is for you time. And so if you can sync up your babies so that they're going through this cycle over and over again throughout the day, it'll make your life a lot easier because that Y time, the you time, will happen on a predictable basis and give you time to catch up, to rest, to do chores, and everything that you have on your plate. So one beautiful thing about the EASY formula is you kind of know what's going to happen next. And once you start to go through that cycle, it becomes very obvious what the next step should be for your babies. You feed them, then they're going to have some kind of activity time. Maybe it's tummy time, maybe you're playing with them, and then they're going to get tired. It's going to be time for a bed, maybe nap or bedtime at night. And then you get some time for yourself while they're sleeping. And then when they wake up, you repeat it all over again. Eat, activity, sleep, your time. We use this EASY formula with all 4 of our children, our twin girls and each of our singleton boys, and we loved it. So keep in mind that pattern and that routine as we talk about schedules and how you can help your twins sync up on the same schedule. You may ask yourself, well, when is the best time to get your babies onto a schedule? And the best time to start is right now. You'll notice that even in the hospital staff has your twins on a schedule where they're feeding every a certain number of hours, they're awake for a little bit, and then they sleep. You can continue that pattern once you get home. And if you've just been going with the flow of how your babies are reacting, now's the best time to get those babies synced up to help improve your quality of life and how smoothly things run in your home. If you've gotten into the habit of taking care of your twins sequentially, so one after the other, you may have noticed some of the challenges that this presents. It will seem to you that you are always feeding one of the babies. You feed baby A, and then as soon as you're done with baby A and taking care of baby A, you feed baby B. And often by the time you finish feeding baby B, you got to go back around and feed baby A again. And so if you can get them both feeding simultaneously, it makes life a lot easier. Children respond very well to routines. These become very comforting and very reassuring. They start to recognize what the next step is going to be. They start to recognize that, oh, after I eat, I get a little playtime. When I start to get tired, I go to bed. And when I wake up, I'm going to eat. And they start to expect those things to happen. So when you start to guide your children into a predictable routine, it becomes very comfortable for them and easy to follow for both them and for you. As you try to get your children into a predictable routine, make sure you talk to their pediatrician because your doctor best knows your twins' feeding needs and sleeping needs. So make sure you're considering those before you try to get them into a routine. You definitely don't want to starve your children or stretch out those feeding times just to force them into a schedule. You need to stay within the bounds that your doctor is recommending. As you try to get your children into a schedule and keep that schedule, it's vitally important that you write down what is happening. When they're sleeping, write it down. How long they sleep, when they're eating, when do they eat, how much do they eat. When they have diaper changes, record that as well. And when you have a meticulous log of their daily activities, it's very easy to see the patterns that are happening, what's working and what's not working with your schedule. And then you can adjust accordingly. You can adjust based on what you see is working or not working, instead of just trying to guess, because in those early months with twins, you are totally sleep deprived. And unless you have it written down in front of you, you're going to forget something, or your perception of reality is going to be very skewed. So make sure you're making entries in a log or a journal of how your twins are doing. The key to getting your twins onto the same schedule is to feed them at the same time. This is the key to everything else. You will become a master of feeding your twins by yourself if you haven't already. At night, you're going to discover that one of the twins is going to wake up first and be hungry, and it's time to feed that twin. And there you have the decision to make. Do I let the other baby sleep, or do I wake her up? And the answer is, it's okay to wake up the sleeping twin. I know you're never supposed to wake a sleeping baby, but that's not the case with twins. You need to keep these babies in sync for your own health and sanity, if nothing else. What would happen for my wife and I is when one of our girls would wake up crying in the night, ready to eat, we would go in and we'd get her, and we'd wake up her sister, and we'd feed them both. Oftentimes, the girl who was still sleeping was still pretty groggy and sleepy, and so she may not eat as much as her sister, but we found that that would still be enough for her to make it to the next feeding time. Let's talk about daytime schedules. Oftentimes during the day, one of the parents is home alone with the twins, and that creates a lot of pressure on that parent to take care of both twins simultaneously. In this case, it may be okay for you to stagger the schedule just a little bit, even if it's off 10 or 15 minutes for each of your twins. That'll give you the ability to take care of one twin and then turn your attention and take care of the other. Your skills will continue to develop and grow, and you'll be able to take care of those babies at the same time. You'll be able to feed them at the same time, get them down to sleep at the same time, and you will no longer need to have that staggered schedule even during the day when you may be home by yourself. Daytime is also the time for naps. You want to make sure that your babies are getting the naps that they need to keep them on the same schedule. You want to put them down to sleep at the same time, even for naps during the day. But if you find that your twins are waking each other up, it may be okay to separate them into different rooms. Maybe you put one of your twins into a crib in their nursery and another twin into their bassinet or a pack and play in the other room. Each of your twins may not sleep for the same amount of time. Just like feeding, one may sleep longer than the other. But you want to put them down to sleep at the same time. So if one of them wakes up, take her out of her room, and you can start the eating or the activity time while you wait for the other twin to wake up. Let's talk about nighttime care, as that's a slightly different creature than daytime care of twins. Before you put them down for bed at night, make sure you have a healthy and predictable bedtime routine for your twins. This may be bath time, story time, cuddle time, whatever's going to work for you and your twins. The bedtime routine will help calm your twins down, help them get ready for bed, and make it easier for them to fall asleep. Caring for twins overnight is a challenge. If at all possible, you want to have somebody there to help you. Maybe mom and dad are waking up together to take care of the twins when it's time to feed them. Or maybe you have someone, mother-in-law or someone in those first couple months that can help you. Again, the nighttime schedule revolves around feeding. So when one of them wakes up, wake up the other one to keep those schedules in sync. What if you have twins that are different sizes? Maybe you've got fraternal twins, or you've got even identical twins that are very different in their sizes, weights, and that may mean they have different eating and feeding requirements. It is still possible to keep your different sized twins on the same schedule, and it all starts with feeding once again. Start feeding them at the same time. If baby A is only going to eat for 15 minutes and baby B eats for 10 minutes, they may finish at different times, but the important thing is that you're starting them at the same time. And then when it comes time for the next feeding schedule, base that off of when they both started the last feeding. Your babies and you are going to get into a great habit. However, life changes. There's going to be some surprises. There's going to be sickness. There's going to be visitors. You may go on vacation. And all of these things can throw a wrench in the works as far as your schedule goes with your twins. Just remember that when you get them out of schedule, you're going to have some consequences. Those babies are going to be cranky, grumpy, sleepy, angry, and it's going to be a little bit of an extra challenge to get through the day. If you know that going into some of these events, like family visiting you or if you go on a vacation, it's easier to plan for that and try to work around it. Just remember to be flexible. Just remember to recognize why you're out of schedule and try to get back on as quickly as possible. That may be back when people are not sick anymore, or when the guests leave, or when you return home from a vacation. And it may take a day or more to get them back into a healthy routine and a schedule. About the time you get comfortable with a routine and a schedule, it's going to change. That is the nature of these babies. They're going to keep growing, and as they continue to grow and get older, the schedules are going to change. Their feeding needs are going to change. They may be able to stretch out their feedings longer and longer during the night. Their nap times change. The amount of time that they're napping changes. The amount of sleep that they get during the night changes. And as such, you need to be flexible and adapting as your twins grow and develop. If something is not working, it's okay to change. It's okay to change the routine. It's okay to try something different, to try to figure out what is going to work for your twins. Just a word of caution that you need to give something a little bit of time before you throw in the towel and give up that it's not going to work. Have you had success with getting your twins onto a routine or a schedule? What's worked for you in your home? Go ahead and leave a comment so other parents can learn from what has worked for you and your family. Hey, as a parent of twins, you are awesome, and you should celebrate that unique role that you have as a parent of twins. Not many people have twins. That makes you super awesome and special. Why don't you pick up a shirt like this one, the Lord of the Twins, over at twint-shirtcompany.com. We've got shirts like this for dads and dozens of shirts for moms and dads. Remember to check out some of these other videos for practical tips and tricks on raising your twins as well. They'll guide you through the ups, the downs, and the challenges of being a twin parent. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more practical tips and tricks coming straight to you.